tonight. Today, 41 state parks and 14 historic sites across New York were roped off to the public due to slashed state spending. For weeks now, these parks have gone unmanicured as part of budget cuts. But today, one Capital Region attraction got some TLC from Assemblyman Tim Gordon. Gordon brought his own lawnmower to Thatcher Park, that's just outside of Albany, to cut the overgrown grass and make a statement in the process. He managed to get a lot of press, but he also took some flack for the stunt. Gordon's Republican challenger showed up, and he called on the lawmaker to shut off the prop and start working on the budget 5 days a week.
I find it ridiculous that he's down here grandstanding. Rather than work on a state budget, this is what we're getting out of Albany. It's a circus sideshow.
Assemblyman Gordon is standing by now to discuss his foray into landscaping today. He joins me live by phone from the Capitol, where the Assembly is actually still voting. Good evening, Assemblyman.
Hi, Liz. Hello, everyone.
Thanks for joining me, Assemblyman Gordon. I appreciate it.
I'm sorry I can be with you in person, but yeah, we're still voting on a budget extender right now in the Capitol.
So what gave you this idea? What you thought just for a minute, you know, it would be a great idea for me to haul my lawnmower up to Thatcher Park and do a little mowing?
Well, part of it's taking issue into my own hands, I guess. There's a lot of people who love these parks. I also represent a state park that's Schodack Island Park, and we have a friends group there. We were able to keep the park open the winter, not last winter, winter before when there was a closure. And you know, there's one way we can get things done by using the friends groups. And just that, it's just a shame. It's appalling. There's no need for the parks to be closed. There's funding in the weekly appropriations that the parks could be open. Why the governor's choosing to inflict us this pain? I know it could be, you know, a pressure point to make things happen, help the log jam, but it's really taking it out on the people.
So your opponent, Mr. McLaughlin, showed up. He was actually wearing a tie, which was pretty stark contrast to your chinos there, but. And he accused you of grandstanding, and he called on you to get back to work and really basically called you out. What was your response to him?
He probably was the very best dressed man in the park. The media chose to come along and follow the story. We decided we were going to come up with a group of volunteers, Steve Roberts Landscaping, Loudonville, a group of other people. We met people who were waiting with machinery alongside the road, who heard we were doing it, wanted to be part of it, and they joined in. So we just came to get a job done, and it looks great. We're by the Overlook. Anyone wants to take a look? That's the end result. You know, I'm talking from the Capitol here, so I'm not interested in talking about the election. I'm in the People's House right now. We were happy to get a job done. The fact that the press came to cover it, you know, was, I thought, a good thing. At the end of the day, though, we left the park looking much better than it was when we arrived.
So the fact that you have to resort to this kind of thing, to a stunt, if you will, on the heels of last week, you and I don't know if you were there, but your colleagues who had this sit-in staged by Jack McEnany in the governor's office, what kind of commentary is that on Albany and just how bad things have gotten at the Capitol?
Well, I did join the group that was in the Red Room. I wasn't part of the initial wave, but they did allow me in to join the folks at the sit-in. We got lots of rank and file members who are trying to get things done here. We were calling upon the governor to get active with the negotiations on a daily basis, and that's why we went down to the Red Room. The governor did join us in the conference today, in the majority conference in the Assembly, and I think we're a little further along. I don't think that would have happened had we not taken the action last week. We got to hammer this out. The people demand we do that, and you know, it's a difficult year. There are difficult decisions to be made. We're fairly close out of, you know, a $130 billion budget. We're only apart by a few billion. You know, it's time to wrap it up and get it done.
Well, Assemblyman, I want to thank you very much for joining me. I know that you have to get back to voting, so thanks very much for coming on with us tonight.
Always a pleasure, Liz. Thank you.
Take care. That is all the time we have tonight. I just want to make one note. I believe Assemblyman Gordon is actually an Independence Party member. He does conference with the Democrats, but he is a enrolled member of the Independence Party. In the meantime, now that that's over, I'd like to sneak in a quick plug for the blog, State of Politics.